Next, we'll move on to Delegate Guyton and House Bill 749. Welcome, Delegate Guyton.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair Stein and members of the Environment Transportation Committee. So I'm here to request your consideration of House Bill 749, which establishes a Maryland Park Explorers pilot program in 3 counties, Baltimore County, Anne Arundel County, and Calvert County. So according to the Sierra Club, 28 million children in the US do not live within 10 miles of green recreational space. So prior to COVID, and again, this is prior to COVID, the average American child spent an estimated 4 to 7 minutes playing outdoors and an average of 8.8 hours a day interacting with electronics and sitting in front of a screen. Those of us who have middle or high schoolers are not surprised at that at all. But remember, these numbers are before virtual schooling. So we can only expect that things have gotten so much worse. So the evidence of sort of negative behavioral, social, and physical health effects of all of this time in front of the screens has been well documented for years, again, well before COVID. But our recent analysis indicates that the problems that kids are having from sitting in front of the screen, they're not just because they're sitting in front of a screen. They're because of what they're not doing. And what they're not doing is going out and interacting with their natural world. So House Bill 749 will encourage children to engage in outdoor play and exploration and fight childhood obesity, one of our biggest problems, exacerbated also by COVID, by building physically healthier children while expanding their knowledge of the environment and also promoting social and behavioral health. So it's a win, 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 win. Good for the kids, good for community, and great for the environment. So while the benefits of environmental education are well documented for both the health of children and the health of the environment, much of our exposure to it is very inequitable. So this bill requires that these programs, the first 3 in the pilot, prioritize children in areas that lack green space and equitable access to outdoor environmental experiences. And they must also collect demographic data about their participants to make sure that they are doing that. So Maryland's already shown an interest in promoting environmental education through similar programs in effect under the Department of Natural Resources. So we do have a Maryland Partnership for Children in Nature. And we recently have basically a junior rangers for our state parks. But the difference here is that Bill 749 would extend our reach to county parks and to county programs, and more specifically to underserved communities with little access to green space. So I thank you for your attention to this matter, and I request a favorable report on House Bill 749 to establish County Park Explorer pilot programs that will teach young participants, the importance of the environment and encourage children to spend greater time exploring and learning in our natural surroundings. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Before we go to your first witness, I just want to confirm that I heard you right when you said that, and this was pre-COVID, that the average child spent under 5 minutes a day outside.
Yes, I had my staff checking and double checking that research, and also the research that 28 million US children are not within 10 miles of natural space. I mean, honestly, I've been looking at child development for a long time, and that all surprised me very much. So yeah, that data was from 2019, actually, about the hours inside versus outside.
Yeah, okay. First witness is Shannon Nazar.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Vice Chair Stein and committee members. For the record, I'm Shannon Nazar, and I'm the Director of Parks and Recreation for Calvert County, and Calvert County is in full support of House Bill 749. Thank you to Delegate Guyton for your leadership on this bill and for including Calvert County in this pilot initiative. Calvert County is primarily known for its rural atmosphere, abundance of open space, and love for the Patuxent River, Chesapeake Bay, and its watersheds. Unfortunately, there is still a disconnect on the benefits of the great outdoors and services to provide those opportunities to populations in order to bridge those socioeconomic gaps. Town centers in Calvert County are the most populated areas of the county, and resources for outdoor space are generally and historically outside of those areas, making some of our most amazing public lands out of reach or out of mind for some members of our community. In Calvert County's most recent Land Preservation Parks and Recreation Plan survey, it was noted that residents didn't know about programs or didn't know what was available to them. With this information, it's even more important to improve on this avenue. With the availability of this program, it provides a concerted effort to ensure members of the public are aware of the great programs, services, and facilities that are offered, and then also have a louder voice on what's important to them. This type of outreach to show the benefits of the outdoors, along with local history and cultural resources, is so important for our young people to be involved in for future generations of conservationists, historians, and overall well-rounded adults. Calvert has a very diverse program in natural resources and environmental science. We research American kestrels, saw-whet owls, all types of raptors, and are in all Calvert County public school classrooms of 1st, 3rd, and 5th graders through the ChessPACS program on environmental sciences. This is just one example of what future park explorers will assist their fellow citizens in learning about. So passing of this bill will allow local parks and recreation agencies in partnerships with citizens to lead the way to spread the word across the state to show how the essential services that are provided by parks and recreation agencies are bettering the health, safety, education, and wellness of all Marylanders. So thank you for your time, and I look forward to your favorable report.
Thank you. Next, Bob Smith.
Good afternoon, committee members. I'm here to testify in support of House Bill 749. My name is Bob Smith. I am the Deputy Director for Recreation and Facilities Operations at the Baltimore County Department of Recreation and Parks, and we are in support of this bill. We've all seen the heightened value of our open spaces during the last 2 years. Parks and open spaces provide us ways to combat climate change, to provide needed areas to congregate and socialize, and act as ways to both improve physical and mental health. Whether they are waterfront parks like Fort Howard in Southeast Baltimore County, parks tied to history like our Gwynn Oak Park in Woodlawn, or large expansive parks like Oregon Ridge located in our northern section of the county. These all provide these very important benefits to our communities. To protect these open spaces, we need advocates and stewards for our parks. This bill helps us to prepare the next generation of those advocates, and additionally will help us reach out to those communities that may have historically faced the most challenges to access to thriving park systems. We have seen that meaningful engagement at a young age with our recreation and parks systems develops lifelong advocates for these same systems. They grow into volunteers for our systems, voices locally seeking support for our systems, and in some cases, future professionals for our systems. These young advocates not only better understand the value of these important resources, but they express that value to others, passing on that love of the parks. They become engaged in our park systems and become the caretakers of our local spaces and the champions for the continuation and improvement of these vital resources. By increasing the opportunity for the youth to become engaged in our recreation and park systems, we prepare the next generation of advocates for these vital and amazing community assets. And perhaps 30 or so years from now, a former park attendant from Southeast Baltimore County will be sitting here as a deputy director for the Recreation and Parks Department, testifying on this important legislation. So I thank you for your time and your consideration.
Okay, thank you very much. We have a question from Delegate Clark.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. My question's for Shannon. Shannon, you said that Calvert County, the Board of County Commissioners they know about their participation on this bill,
Yes, I've had conversations with our commissioners as well as the county attorney, and they are in full support of this program.
Yeah, I just am a little confused because they usually, any bill they're involved in, they usually send us a letter of support to that effect, of which we don't have. At least I have not seen come through unless it was sent to our delegation chair, and he didn't disperse it out to the rest of us. But before I can vote for this, I'm going to need something from them. Well,
I can absolutely assist with that and get that done. Due to some timing constraints, I wasn't able to get the a letter completed with the holiday and the timing of the signing up for the bill and getting that submitted. But I can absolutely get that.
One other question, real quick question. I would differ with you in your expectation that the majority of youth that we have in the county live inside the town centers. We only have two major town centers, and they're not either one of them very densely populated. Wouldn't you say that this would be more important for the children and the that don't have the ability to get out to the natural resources in the private communities in the southern part of the county, AE, the Chesapeake Ranch Club and White Sands and Drum Point?
So that's what I was alluding to in my comments. So within the town centers, that I wouldn't say that they're the entire population, but there is a larger amount of individuals within those areas that there isn't a park directly in, say, so our larger parks, our larger natural parks, natural resources parks are outside of the town centers. So a lot of time we don't get those visitors to a lot of those nature parks.
Yeah, but these communities aren't in the town center, they're outside the town center. But neither, hey, just for the committee's information, could you please tell them how many regional parks that you have in the pipeline right now, trying to get built out and funded so that we can get them open?
So we have one park up in the Dunkirk area, Ward Farm Recreation and Nature Park, where we are opening that. We have our ribbon cutting next month on the 8th for the first phase of that project. And then we also have a park on the southern end of the county, Dominion Energy Regional Park, which we are in the process of design right now for the first phase of that regional park, but it is not completely funded.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you very much. That ends the bill hearing for House Bill 749. Thank you very much, Delegate Guyton.